What's up guys, back at Project Our House. We are finally back in action, taking some more videos for you guys. We kind of took the winter off and we're giving you some more content now that we actually have some activity. The long wait for windows is over. As you can see, we have glass. This is the big momentous occasion that we've been building up to. We've been doing a lot of little things in the house, but this is the big moment for us because we can't do siding, we can't dry in, we can't do sheetrock, can't do insulation, can't do really anything until we have these windows and we officially get dried in. So the house is looking pretty good because it's not a big white box anymore wrapped with that paper. We pulled it off. You can see all the windows are in. We got a few left. We had a couple breakages when we were glazing. But let's check this house out. This is pretty cool. So in this house, we did a commercial window package. This is true commercial. So these frames in this house are aluminum commercial frames. You can hear they're solid aluminum, extruded aluminum frames. So the way these things operate is you have your rough opening that you would normally put a residential window in with like a nailing thin and all that fun stuff. These are true commercial, so it's literally just a box frame. Look at this gap that you have in here. So there's different ways that we'll manage that gap and deal with that ceiling. But it's just like a true commercial application with the sill pans underneath the windows and everything. So they set the frames and we've been waiting for the glass. You can see over here, the glass showed up on these big racks from the glass manufacturing factory. And we take this glass and we glaze it in. So we had a forklift on the job and we took the forklift to pick up these extremely heavy panels of glass and stick them up in the hull. And then we glaze them, put the vinyl and the stops and all the things. We've still got a lift over here. We got some more work to do, a little bit of rain today, so we're working through that. But this is pretty cool. So you guys have been here before with us. It doesn't materially look like it's changed much on the inside because it really hasn't. We've been, again, waiting for these windows, but now you can see we're in and we also got our doors. That was another point because those came from another manufacturer. So now you can see we've got our 28-foot multi-slider over here, another one over there, and there's multiple throughout the rest of the house. At this moment, you're getting to see a preview of my Amazon chandelier. So we are doing a mock-up of a very cool high-end chandelier system that is a bunch of these like big fat LED ropes that are lit throughout. They're not little dots like this. I mean, these are 30 bucks on Amazon, but we wanted to do a mock-up to see the real dimension, the drape, the size, the scale for the space. So we laid out the whole schematic on the floor right here. It might be hard to see, but we made this big rectangle with string and we put marks on it based on the dimensions, and then we lasered up to the ceiling and we draped these cheap Amazon lights up here so we can get an idea of what it's gonna look like. So looks pretty janky right now. This is a picture of what it looks like at night. You can see it's gonna be a pretty cool vibe looking from outside in when it's actually finished with the correct chandelier. So walking through, still got the same kind of arrangement. Our mechanicals are like 80% done. Our fireplace is finally in. This is a custom fireplace that was built just for this project. This is temporary, but this whole side is going to be open, and we're going to have this cool stone detail up here, TV and stereo up there. So you're starting to see that come to life. But I would say the coolest part is downstairs, so let's hit it. All right, so basement. This is something that I've been wanting to get done for a long time just because I had this open sore right here where the turntable is. Now you are finally seeing the completed and finished turntable. It is solid concrete and it is completely flush with the rest of the floor. These little anchor bolts are just on this access panel for temporary, but we have some flush bolts that'll go on it. So this thing is completely flush. You can see I'm walking on it. You can see it moves when I put my weight to it, but not a lot because this thing's a beast. But also next to it on the floor is an in-ground car lift. So this in-ground car lift is two posts, one there, and obviously the arms attached to it. So this is for like working on cars, not storing cars. So you pick the car up and when you don't want it, put it back in the ground, and this is literally all you see. So we can drive all over this. And when we're not using the lift, we can take the arms off and put them in the storage closet. So this is all you see right here. So this is just kind of like a big open space right here for parking, storing, displaying, what have you. You're seeing a little bit of water on this floor because we've started to dig into the skylight, and it's all very temporary right now. But this is gonna be our walkable skylight. I've talked about it before, but we're getting close. This is gonna be super cool when it's installed. It's coming soon. But now you can kind of get a vibe for it. This is all flushed out. We're so happy with how this turned out on this floor. We've got the garage door opening framed up. We've got our pump system in for our outdoor stormwater retention. So it's getting a lot closer. Now that we have fully all of our concrete and framing done, over the next 2 weeks, we're probably gonna be wrapping up all of our lighting and our low volt stuff. For example, one of the cool things that we're doing right here where I'm standing is this circle that you see around the turntable. And it's a very faint circle. Like I can't even put my finger down inside of it. It's so tight. It's about 3/8 of a gap. We're gonna have an LED light that mimics the circle up on the ceiling. So it's bringing that medium up. And then we'll have some pot lights that shine down on the turntable, so it's gonna be really cool. This turntable was kind of a pain in the butt. I don't know if you guys recall, we can show you just like a little snippet here of what it used to look like. But as you can see from before, the turntable was this kind of metal pan and it had a metal ring around it. That's what keeps this concrete in when we poured it. Now, to get this nice finished edge around the perimeter of the turntable on the existing slab, because you want this to be super, super fine and tight and straight and pretty, you can't really form that with wood, because you can imagine with wood forms, it's just gonna wanna be wavy and everything. So the manufacturer at request provides you with a metal ring that goes on the outside. So we had to take this ring, and it's like an L, and set it and shim it. I got these 3/8 inch dowels that we taped all around it, and we put the ring right up against the table, and then we had to pin the ring into the concrete, elevated up off the ground, so there's like this little gap, and it's just like this floating ring. And then we packed in, after we finished mounting the ring, with mortar and concrete underneath it to fill that gap, let that dry, and then the next day we actually came and poured all the concrete. That keeps the concrete from flowing down into the cavity. So it was a full day with like 4 or 5 guys getting this ring set and getting it perfect. It was a lot of work, but you can see the end result is amazing. So going back into the lounge, obviously we'll have a door here to separate the space. You can see we got our steel stringer stairs installed, both here and upstairs. We're gonna have some big, thick wooden treads that'll go on top of these. So those will be super pretty. And then obviously we're gonna light all that up. And then down here, we're doing something that's pretty cool. I'm using these lights from Lutron. The name of them I can't remember, but they're some super fancy light. And we're using them only in this room because the only light you can kind of see I have coming in here is from the stairwell from above. And then if I end up being able to use a glass door right there, I'm not sure because it needs to be fire rated right there, coming through the side door and the skylight. So it needs some light in here, obviously. But we're using these can lights from Lutron that actually have a little computer and brain in them and are always connected to the internet. And they know exactly what the ambient light is outside, the level, the intensity, the lumens, and the color temperature. And it literally mimics the ambient light outside. So when you're walking from upstairs to downstairs or from there into here, you're literally gonna feel like you're still outside. And all the ambient light doesn't change because you know regular traditional household lights, they have certain color temperatures and you know that they're lights. The idea here is we're spending this extra money in this room because there are no windows, is to keep that kind of flowing. You know, upstairs, the whole thing is glass, so you have tons of ambient light. Out there, you've got a giant glass garage door, etc. So there's gonna be lots of ambient light in there. So that's gonna be a cool feature that you guys are gonna see later on when we actually get this stuff installed and lit up. All right, so now let's check out this big door. 28 feet, this thing is like, I don't know, 10, 11 feet tall. This is from a company called La Cantina. And man, it is just butter. So obviously this is cool because our floor system, our tiles rather, are gonna run right up to this threshold, and then we're gonna continue our tile all the way outside. We're gonna use it for the pool coping too, so it's just gonna be literally like the inside flows outside. Big pool back there, we're probably gonna dig for it next month. We gotta get past a couple more obstacles here, but the outside flowing in is gonna be super sweet when it's all done. All right, guys, thanks for stopping in. We appreciate it. This project, Our House, is gonna keep rolling forward. When I have some more big updates for you guys to see visually, we'll make another video, but stay tuned, much more to come.